If you're here because you typed in, what's the root cause of my anxiety? I'm guessing that you have suffered with anxiety and you just want to understand it. I'm sure you've tried the things all on your own. You've read things, listened to podcasts, and you still can't get to the bottom of it. You probably think, if I could just figure out the reason, then maybe I would know how to fix that. If that's you, I can totally understand why. When my clients ask me this question in therapy, I usually say something along the lines of, anxiety is trying to tell us something. It rarely comes from one single root cause. It's often layered, and it's usually been around for a long time. Sometimes anxiety comes from a past experience we don't want to repeat. Sometimes anxiety is connected to fear. Sometimes anxiety grows from a belief that we've picked up along the way, like I always have to hold it together, or I always need to be the responsible one. I can't mess this up. So rather than thinking of anxiety as something that's wrong with us, I like to think of it as something our brain learned in order to keep us safe. For a lot of women that I work with, this shows up subtly. You rehearse conversations before they even happen. You plan ahead so you're never caught off guard. You push and overexert because the last thing you want is to look stupid and fail. On the outside, it looks like you're prepared and capable, and on the inside, it's this pressure to never mess up. And when this keeps happening, it's natural to wonder, okay, what's the root cause of this? Let me give you a quick example because this comes up a lot. Let's say you get a short email from your boss that says, can we talk tomorrow? Or you see a one-on-one scheduled with your boss on your calendar that you weren't expecting. Your stomach drops. You feel sick. You start rehearsing what you're going to say. You replay everything that you've ever done. You expect the worst case scenario. And when we slow this down in therapy, we find that it usually touches on something deeper and older. Maybe a fear of disappointing someone. Maybe memories of getting in trouble when you didn't even know that you did something wrong. This doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. It just means that your anxiety has taught you that if I prepare, maybe I'll be safe. In therapy, I don't usually jump to giving an answer right away because I don't know what it is uniquely for you. Instead, together we work together to figure that out, asking questions like, when did anxiety start? What was life like around that time? When did you start to realize this was anxiety? And what is that anxiety trying to protect you from? Honestly, for a lot of women, when they start to realize that this is old and it had a purpose, that's relieving. Anxiety is a normal human experience, and it's not some problem to be solved. Just because you have anxiety, it doesn't mean you have an anxiety disorder. And the goal is not to get rid of anxiety, it's to try and understand it. So if you're wondering about the root cause of what your anxiety might be, here are the next steps I would invite you to try. Instead of only trying to cope with it or push it away, let's pause and get curious. Look it dead in the eye a little bit. Ask yourself these questions. Where do I feel it in my body? What was happening right before it showed up? What is it worried might happen? And what has this feeling tried to protect me from in the past? We're not trying to analyze ourselves to death. We're just trying to look at anxiety as information rather than a problem. Over time, you might start to see patterns, not because you forced yourself to figure it out, but because you slowed down enough to notice. So if you're asking, what's the root cause of my anxiety? My answer is there's not one simple root. There's a story, there's a history, and in your own way, your brain is trying to keep you safe. If this is something that you want to dig into further and you're located in Utah, you can visit the link and schedule a free 15-minute phone consultation, and we could figure this out together.